4 players, 1 bonus.
3 players, 1 bonus.
That's 4.
That I can't count.
Before you draft, let's make sure you understand which players are on the rise in all of your fantasy leagues. I'm Alan Seslowsky here with Jeff Erickson.
First guy is the obvious one, is Marquez Callaway. He is screaming up the charts, Alan, and it's not just because of Michael Thomas. So that was the start of it there. Michael Thomas is now on the PUP list. He'll miss the first 6 weeks of the season at least. But Callaway's gotten there on merit, too. Had the 2 touchdown catches against Jacksonville in that Monday night nationally televised preseason game. And a couple of those were acrobatic catches at that. So that's obviously going to catch people's interest there. But also, I mean, he showed some flash last year, too. Traquan Smith has also been banged up. I saw Marquez Callaway go at 4.6 this weekend in a 14-teamer. That's pick 48 overall. Yeah, and I think later that day also, this is the NFFC. Big money league. People putting their money in. They're getting their guys. He's not going to go that early in most leagues, but realize the time of you getting him in the 10th round is over. It's gone. I'm not going to steer into this one. I think he's a guy that they're just lukewarm on a little bit. I know they like him more than they did before, but when Thomas comes back, I think it's going to be, I think he's like a wide receiver 3. Now I'm talking their wide receiver 3, not necessarily a fantasy wide receiver 3.
Drafters want to know, what round would you take Callaway in if you do want him in regular leagues, and what would be a salary cap or auction league price that you're willing to pay for him in a $200 budget?
Okay, let's go 12-team leagues as our standard league. I'd say like 8th round is where I'd take him. I'd be willing to take him there. After I've got 3 solid receivers. In a salary cap auction league, I wouldn't spend more than 10, and he's going way more than that now.
After Travis Etienne is out for the season, James Robinson is flying up the boards. Talk a little bit about his rise as one of our Helium players.
So this is some helium I'm just sucking out of the balloon and taking for myself. I'm going to be, it's a scarce resource in society. I'm hoarding it. I like him in the 3rd round. I think he's a 3-down player. I saw what he did last year. I understand Urban Meyer doesn't have the draft capital in him, but Etienne's gone. Carlos Hyde is not a pass catcher. He never has been. He won't be. Robinson's going to get those. He's going to get plenty of other snaps. I know Hyde's there as a threat. He was played at college for Urban Meyer and all that. But Robinson's objectively good. He's a good player. Go get him.
One of the questions that we get on the RotoWire message boards is, if you've taken 1 running back and 1 receiver and you're faced with drafting Terry McLaurin or James Robinson, do you have a preference of those 2 players?
McLaurin. I still take McLaurin.
Another one of the Helium players that you had on your list is Jerry Judy. Talk a little bit about his meteoric rise right now.
Okay, first of all, there's pedigree here. This is a guy that the Broncos spent a 1st-round draft pick on. A lot of people thought in last year's awesome rookie wide receiver class that he might be the best, most polished receiver. Great route runner. Had some issues with the dropsies last year, but give me the guy that demands targets, gets open all the time, the guy that's hard to cover. Just like Deontay Johnson, give me that guy. Jerry Judy is that guy. He benefits by Teddy Bridgewater being the starting quarterback. I worry a little tiny bit about red zone targets. He's not a big guy, but that's why you're getting him in the 4th round. You're not getting him in the 2nd round. But he is going to be the number 1 receiver on the Broncos this year. He's going late 4th round in 12-teamers, and I think it's worth it.
The Patriots aren't big on trusting their rookie running backs, but you told me that you saw Radre Stevenson shooting up the draft boards. Where's he going right now, and what's your evaluation and analysis on Radre?
So in Vegas, you did a league with me. I took him in the 16th round. That's not happening anymore. You're getting him in the 9th or 10th now in a 12-teamer. Because Sony Michel is gone, Radre has proven in the preseason he can play. There's some things he needs to improve on, but he's going to have his moments there. And if something happens to Damian Harris, I can see Stevenson coming in. Jim Coventry calls him the finisher on this team. He likes him a lot too. I think 10th round is appropriate. I mean, you want to take A.J. Dillon before him. You want to take some of these other guys that are, this first wave of top backups, Jamal Williams. You want to take him before Stevenson. But he's a guy now that you have to prioritize a little bit. He's not just an afterthought last round of the draft sort of guy.
Since you watched until the end of the video, Jeff's going to give you 1 bonus Helium player, a player that's just shooting up the rankings.
Find someone you love as much as fantasy drafters love Rondale Moore. Look at that sprint time. Look at the moves in the open field. Oh, they're running end arounds with him. Oh, they're doing this. They're finding ways to give him the ball in the preseason so he can get 8 yards. He's super talented. He's also super fragile. And I also worry about a super crowded Arizona wide receiver core. He's 3rd or 4th at best on that team. Obviously Hopkins demands a ton of targets. He is a target hog, so it's hard to establish a clear number 2. But they've got Kirk. They've got AJ Green, or what's left of AJ Green. They have Edmonds who can catch passes too. So Rondale Moore is going to have to fight for target share, and I don't think he's worth the price he's going for. Usually in the 8th or 9th round, 9th or 10th round probably is where I see him going. I think he's got a lot of talent. I just don't think I'm willing to invest that sort of price in him. There's others I like better.
If you want to try RotoWire Premium, go over there and give us a 10-day sample. Free, 10 days, no obligation. Just go to rotowire.com/try.